so embarrassing. I didn't really want to share this, but she's a very well-known New York Instagrammer. Au revoir to those people who unfollowed me. I really don't care. Hope the door doesn't hit you on the way out. Anyway. Wow. I almost just forgot a crucial part of this video, which is this green ring that really just like pulls it all together. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am so glad you're here. I did a new thing with my hair today and I flipped it out this way. You can't even really tell. It like doesn't really cooperate, but I just like went like this instead of the other way. I'm kind of liking it. But greetings, internet. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a Dear Katy video. So there I was walking this morning. Never a dull moment. So there I was on my hot girl walk this morning, thinking to myself about all the things I have to do today, my to-do list in my phone. And one thing I really wanted to do today was film this video. I love filming videos on Fridays. It just feels like a good way to end the week. It just feels right filming a video on a Friday. So I thought about what video I wanted to film, and I really wanted to do a Dear Katy video and answer a bunch of the questions I've gotten via DM. But I'm like, am I the right person to give advice right now? Because I have been having a really hard week, really down in the dumps this week, just feeling very hopeless and purposeless this week, personally, just like being honest with you guys. And I was like, do I even have anything to give? Like, if my cup is empty or feeling kind of low right now, like, do I have anything to give? And then I realized that whenever I do videos like this, or whenever I do any sort of act to help someone else, even if I feel like I don't have much to give, it does fill me up. And I'm not trying to be this hero here, but I truly think that if you are going through something similar, having a hard go of it, helping someone else, even like a total stranger, I think it even helps more if it's a total stranger, just being kind to someone when you don't have to be, when you don't feel like you can be, it shows me that I have so much to give and I have so much purpose in this world. It does. So here we are. Cup is feeling a little bit low right now, but I'm about to fill myself up and fill you guys up hopefully too by answering some questions. I'm not a licensed therapist, you guys know this, I am just me. But if you are in the market for a therapist, which I cannot speak enough good things about therapy, about how much it has helped me personally, it's truly been a life-changing experience for me ever since I started in 2020, I believe is the year I started, yeah. So it's been a few years now. I'm not one that's been in therapy my whole life, but I really think I could have benefited from it at a younger age. But that being said, if you guys are looking for a therapist, definitely check out BetterHelp. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp. I personally use BetterHelp and I like it because I don't have to leave my apartment. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be on camera if I'm not feeling it. I have always been the kind of person who finds it very hard to ask for help. And I feel like I'm a burden to my friends, sometimes to my family even, when I'm asking for advice. And that is why therapy has been life-changing for me, because there are people out there who do this for a living, who are licensed, who are taught to help you, who have the skills to help you feel better, especially when you're feeling burnt out or overwhelmed or stressed. If you sign up now, you can get started with a therapist in under 48 hours. So relatively soon you guys can get started. So definitely check out BetterHelp. If you've been in the market for a therapist, you don't know where to start, you moved, you just need something easy, definitely check it out. I'll have it linked down below. Okay, the first question, it's kind of a long one, so I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit. Dear Katy, my best friend and I met 3 years ago. We were very inseparable when we first met, then we moved to different parts of the country, but then we FaceTimed almost every day for over 2 years. He does struggle with a lot of things mentally, so I would drop everything for him because I want to be there for him, but when I needed something, he wouldn't talk to me, saying he would only talk to people when he wanted to talk to them. Red flag behavior. In September, I moved to the UK for grad school, and when I arrived, he started ghosting me. I've supported him in every step of his life, so it hurt when he didn't show up for me in the same way, which sent me into a very depressed and anxious state. He wouldn't text me back or answer my calls without any explanation after talking nonstop for over 2 years, but would post on his story him hanging out with his other friends and saying all of these things about friendship, etc. Eventually, after 6 months of this, I sent him this text telling him how much he hurt me. He finally gave me an explanation, but a few weeks after that, he would start texting me again things he needed me to do, giving him money, edit emails for him, or rant to me about toxic relationships he's in. In these texts, he never asked anything about me. Sorry, I need to take a breath. This is like getting me heated over here. My other friends tell me he's a narcissist, but I'm trying to make it work because within the recent weeks, he has been asking how I am, finally, but still needing me to do things for him and still not calling me. I know I should cut ties, but I have no idea how to because I still feel so connected to him. Okay, what if I told you all of the love and support you're giving this person, you could give that same love and support to someone who will also give you love and support? Like, imagine how it will feel when you find someone who actually reciprocates this and isn't just blatantly using you when you know that they're using you. Like this girl, she knows that she is being used, but she doesn't know how to get out of the situation, which is hard because cutting ties with a friend is very hard. A friendship breakup is really, really hard. It really hurts. It gets less hard, like it hurts less over time. Time does heal things, and making new friends heals things. I think that you should focus your energy less on this person. I really truly think you should just stop texting them. I think that you should send them a link to BetterHelp and get them some therapy. Maybe make a suggestion that they should talk to someone and get real help because it seems like they need it. But I think in terms of what you should do, because you are very important in this situation as well, I think that you should focus this energy and love that you have, this amazing gift that you have of helping people. It is a gift. I think you should channel that into new friendships or into ones you already have that aren't so much work. It can feel kind of like a game and something you want to win. You know, the fact that this person is now asking you a little bit about yourself, like, oh, score, they're asking you a few little questions about yourself. You feel kind of validated. You feel like the past couple of years of your life wasn't wasted because they're finally paying attention. Well, where have they been the past couple of years? Like, they're only doing this now because you are showing them that you're on to them. It makes it a game, and I'm so sick of games. I'm over them. So I think that you should do what you know you have to do here. You know you have to cut ties with this toxic friend. You know you have to, okay? And I know it might feel like you've wasted time, but believe me, this has all been practice and you've learned how to be a caring person even when the going has been hard. So just imagine how it will feel when you find someone you can actually use these gifts towards and feel the same love and respect back. Those are my 2 cents on that. Okay, dear Katy, I just graduated college this past May, congratulations, and I currently have an 8 to 5 working in influencer marketing. If I had to give a rating for my job, it would be 6 out of 10. My bosses are kind and helpful, it pays the bills, and I have a semi-decent amount of PTO. The con here is that my whole life I've wanted to be an elementary school teacher. I was an education major up until my junior year until I switched to marketing. I'm not going to say I have regrets about switching because 1, I can always go into teaching even with a marketing degree, and 2, I have an interest towards marketing. My question here is this: I love education, working with children and being a leader, but we all know that the teacher pay sucks, they're overworked, and of course horrible events happen at school all the time, and that terrifies me. But marketing is safe, and I know I can grow within this company and make more money than as a teacher. But my heart isn't in it. What would you do? Do I follow my heart and struggle financially for the rest of my life, or do I make more money and be just okay with my career? My point here is I want to have nice things all while having a career I love too. You know? Yes, I know. I mean, this is the ultimate struggle that so many of us deal with: passion and stability. Because it's kind of a give and a take. Like, the more passion, sometimes the less stability, and vice versa. It's just a bitter pill to swallow when you become an adult. You have to realize this. For me, I think that the way that I've kind of tried to cheat the system is doing things that land me the security I need while also doing mostly the things that land me the security that I also do conveniently love, which is very lucky, while also kind of dabbling in those things that give me that surge of passion that I need. And over the years, the percentages have gotten a little bit more even through saving and being conscious and things like that. My sister's actually, she's becoming a first grade teacher. She's in Europe right now, but when she comes back, she's classroom and is getting ready to be a first grade teacher. So I know the process of becoming a teacher and how amazing it is that people want to pursue this career, but also how thankless of a job it is. It's actually bonkers to me. The teachers of America who literally raise the future billionaires of the world get paid so little. It's so frustrating. I could write a whole book on this, okay? In this specific scenario, marketing, yeah, I have also dabbled in marketing. When I was at L'Oreal, I sat very closely with marketing. I was like within marketing in my digital and social job. So I saw how thankless of a job that is, but at least you get paid quite substantially more than if you were a teacher. What I would say is maybe don't stay at this particular marketing job that you're at, because clearly it doesn't seem like you're happy. I wonder if there's a way that you can still do those things that you love, working with kids. What else did you say? Working with kids, being a leader, education, things like that. I wonder if there's a way that you can do that while also doing a job in the marketing realm, something that either infuses the two. If anyone has suggestions, please let me know. There could be some sort of marketing for a younger market for kids, but also is there a way you can volunteer with kids and help kids while also helping yourself in terms of security? It seems like you know that you can always go into teaching with a marketing degree. You can do that. Like, it seems like, I don't know that's true, but you do. They said this in the question. So it seems like you know that you can do that, but you are, like, I wonder if your fear of security would rob you of that joy that teaching and children and learning gives you. Like, I wonder if that will just be so in the forefront of your mind that it won't even bring you joy anymore. Like, that's something that I fear. Like, those things that I really love, I fear having them be my end all be all, like, this is my career, because it does kind of suck the joy out of it if there's also that, like, very, very alarming fear that I'm going to be in debt and all of these things. Like, you have to know yourself and know what you're willing to do, like what will sacrifice your peace. So think about that, but I would just consider looking around, poking around, and seeing how you can be involved, how you can do both, like how you can do both in a way that makes you feel satisfied yet secure. Like my consulting, for example, at the beginning, I was doing a lot of graphic design work, which is something I really love, but I know that I can't be a graphic designer full time and support the life that I have currently. I mean, there are some extremely successful graphic designers, but it definitely doesn't pay a lot in the beginning. So I knew to support this life that I have here and that I wanted for myself, I had to do more than just that. But it has resulted in me figuring out like how to strike a balance with consulting and freelancing. Like, I'm wondering if there's a way that you can freelance with kids and teach them, or maybe volunteer with a group in your city or state and do that at a volunteer basis while still keeping your day job and not driving yourself crazy. I mean, it might sound like it's a lot and you might be tired, but I find if I'm doing something that really ignites my passion in my off hours, it's still like it still lights me up inside. Like, for example, tomorrow is Saturday. On a normal Saturday, I'd be like at brunch with my friends, going out, those sorts of things, but I'm actually doing a freelance job tomorrow. I'm going to this event and running it, doing all the social and digital production of the event, which is work, but I'm so excited about it. It's fun work, it's fashion, it's cool. So I found a way to do what makes me enough money to survive while also doing things that don't really pay as much, but really make me happy to do, like creating content for other people. So I don't know if that answered the question. I would just try to find a way where you can do both, even if it's just a little bit of both, and then it might lead to you deciding you do want to be a teacher again. But yeah, I feel you, girl. This is something that we all struggle with, like passion, money, security. But I guess you just have to know yourself. And for me, I'm a very anxious person. When it comes to finances, it is important to consider not only your passion, but also what will make you feel secure and at peace while you're chasing that passion. Okay, we're getting into the romance. Dear Katie, I have a huge crush on this guy who works at the same company as me. We work in different departments. Amazing, but like that's pretty crucial in like work relationships. But I still see him pretty often and we say hi to each other. I also saw him out at the bars one night and he approached me and we chatted. Then the other day he super liked me, in all caps, on Tinder. I matched back, but it's been about a week and he still hasn't messaged me. I've seen him at work and he said hi to me again, and there was totally some tension there. I feel like maybe he's waiting for me to make a move. Should I just wait for him? IDK, what to do? Some crucial details. You saw him out at the bars and he approached you and you chatted. Then he super liked, so that's him exerting energy. Then he super liked you, exerting energy. You matched back. Oh, you saw him at work. He said hi to you again. I feel like okay. Obviously, in a perfect world, we'd wait for him to ask us on a super romantic date, and he just would. In any movie, he would. But I feel like if this guy might be a little bit more on the shy, reserved side, this is 3 instances where he has shown interest. I feel like he might be waiting for you to show interest in some sort of an initiative way, like taking the initiative to make some sort of move. It doesn't need to be like, hey, let's get drinks. Like, he can still be the one that proposes that. But I think maybe you either chatting like on Tinder, you guys matched, or slacking, or however the heck you communicate with people, go by his desk, I don't know, and just be like, hi, how was your weekend? Or I don't know, you don't have to like propose a date. It would be kind of a power move if you did. And also you already know that he's interested. So it actually would be a really cool thing of you to just slide in and be like, hey, what are you doing next week? Do you want to get drinks? Like that sort of thing. I think that you know what you need to do. I think you know that he is interested. And if you feel the same way, I think you should do something about it, because it's 2022, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so over the rules of it all and waiting for the guy to, I'm just so freaking over it. The other night I was at dinner and I've been talking to this one guy. We won't even get, I mean, we will get into it because it's so annoying, but like I was at drinks with a friend of mine, martini in hand, and his name pops up on my phone and I got like so giddy and excited because that's what you do when you have a crush. That's how you feel. Saw a message that he'd sent me, and my friend goes, oh, like you're not gonna respond to that right now, right? And I'm like, yeah, I am. She goes, no, you should wait a few hours. He waited a few hours to respond to you. I'm like, I'm so sick of it. Imagine someone being like, oh yeah, I didn't end up asking her on a date because she responded after 20 minutes and not 2 hours. Like, how desperate. I will make moves when the ball is in my court because life is too darn short and I'm way too busy. Really over it. Speaking of that guy, he asked me to get drinks this weekend. So vague, like no specific day, no specific time, nothing specific at all. And he's like, let's get drinks this weekend. And I said, sure, let's do it. No response. So he's probably gonna text me tonight and be like, what's up? What are you doing? And I'm not gonna respond. Nope, no response. Okay, so next question I'm going to answer is, Dear Katy. Okay, this is an interesting one that I really haven't tackled yet. Dear Katy, I have experienced so much religious judgment from growing up in a hyper-religious space and then in college moving away from that and coming out. How do you deal with hate and comments from religious friends and family if you do? So I was extremely religious, extremely linked to the church and Young Life and all of that in high school. I made so many videos about it too. Like if you watch my old videos, I talked about God all the time. And it's not to say that I'm not a believer anymore. That is not the case at all. I do have religious belief, and it's very private to me, it's personal. But in terms of the judgment that I faced, oh my gosh, I've experienced so much. Because I went from I had a hard time making friends in high school. It was pretty easy to make friends in the religious sphere of things, I feel like, because they're all about like the whole mission of just any religious organization is bringing people in. And so I do credit the church and Young Life for making me feel better in high school. I definitely felt very loved because of that, and it was a big part of my life, and I do not regret it. But that being said, after I left high school and went to college and started dabbling in activities that were not approved of by many people that I was friends with prior, I had friends of mine fully unfollow me. People talk behind my back about how I've gone off the deep end and like I'm like going through something or whatever. Like I heard so many murmurs of, oh, Katy, like she was really on a great track of things and like whatever, and now she's off the deep end because she's experiencing life as a college student. And you know, I think college is for experimenting. That was the best thing that I did with my college years, at least, was try to figure out where I fit in the world and what I believe in and what I think is right and what I think is wrong. Like that is what you learn in college. So I didn't feel any shame, but I know that there's been things said about me. I know that people have literally unfollowed me. Like that's a very big sign of like, we don't support you. And the way I see it is, I mean, that's, first of all, just not a very godly thing to do, okay? Like, Jesus was an outcast. He hung out with people that were not the cream of the crop back in the day, okay? Like if you believe in Jesus and the story of Jesus Christ, he hung out with prostitutes, with people that were from the wrong side of the tracks, okay? If you're going to say like, oh, she's not godly and Christ-like enough, like whatever. Like I was on my journey, I still am, and I just don't think that you should concern yourself with people who would treat you that way, because some could say they're not being a great Christian either, you know? Like, I don't know. I just feel like we're all on our own journeys, and if someone does not support you, they don't have a place in your life, and it doesn't feel like a true loss to me. It doesn't feel like a true loss to me at all, because, like, okay, you couldn't sit with me when I was at my worst, or when I was maybe even going through something, like, then you don't deserve me now. It just, I don't know. I definitely struggled a lot with this, though, at the time when it was happening to me, when I realized that people no longer supported me because I was making videos about sex on the internet and trying to help people and partying and doing things that I didn't do in high school. Like, I changed, okay? Yeah, thank God for that. Thank goodness I changed, because it got me, like, all of that change, all of that fluctuation in who I was and what I was doing and trying has led me here, and I'm very proud of the person that I am now. Au revoir to those people who unfollowed me. I really don't care. Hope the door doesn't hit you on the way out. Anyway, dear Katy, my boyfriend and I have been together for 6 months now, and I'm starting to feel really comfortable around him and imagining a future with him. I haven't felt like this for someone in a long time, and I'm scared he's only with me for a fun time and not a long time. We moved in together after a month of knowing each other. Wild, right? I love the wild, right? Yeah, it's pretty wild, but like, if you know, you know. He surprises me with a trip to Italy/Paris for my birthday, and he's genuinely the nicest guy I've ever been with. The other day he told me his coworkers have a bet going on when we will get engaged, or bet on when we will get engaged. Can I read today? I can't read. Before, he has told me he isn't the kind of guy who wants to marry and have kids. Sort of turned me off. What do you think this means for us? Should I be expecting a proposal soon? Or is he just leading me on? We have a 6-year age gap. I'm 23 and he's 29. Let's get the facts down. 6 months you've been together. You've gone, you've traveled for your birthday. He's very nice. His coworkers clearly talk about you guys. He's 29, you're 23. Okay, those are some facts. So in guy world, it's different, but I do think that some guys, when they approach 30 or like their 30s, they start thinking about serious things. I think it's just the way that many people have been conditioned, though guys definitely don't have to think about it as seriously as women do, or at least they don't typically, because for us, we have like a literal biological clock that's ticking, and though there are options now, it is something that's scary. But I don't know, I think after being together for 6 months, this is like personally speaking, I don't think I would be ready for a proposal if I was 23 and dating a guy for 6 months. Like, I'm 26 now, and even that concept would scare me a bit. Like, I would maybe move in with someone if it feels right, like depending on, the timing doesn't really matter to me, like if it feels right and it's the right step and it just feels right. But I think that a proposal, like, I don't know, I think that you should think about you, okay? Because you asking me, like, should you be expecting, like, if he proposed right now, how would you feel about it? Like, if you are still kind of wondering if you can trust him. I'm scared he's only with me for a fun time, not a long time. Well, I wonder what has happened in the relationship to make you say that, to make you feel that way. Like, the living together aside, I think that you need to have trust. You need to trust that he's in it for the long haul. You need to know that in your bones before you can consider a proposal. Like, that's just my thought. I mean, I think it's really sweet that he's saying these things about a future when he previously didn't, like, say a thing about it and didn't expect one or see one. But I think that you should just, I don't know, pay attention to a lot of the details going on and really make a decision for yourself. Like, do you see this person in it for the long haul? Like, at the end of the day, words are just words. It's actions that we should be focusing on. Like, how, not so much what he's saying, because a lot of the things, besides the trip to Italy, a lot of the things that you noted as being positive things have been just things he's said. So I think actions speak a lot louder. I don't think a proposal is necessarily the action that you need, but I think that you should pay attention to the way he treats you. Does he introduce you to his friends? Has he introduced you in person to his coworkers? Like, has he made an effort actions-wise? So yeah, okay. Dear Katy, If you have a really good first date with a guy and he seems interested and wanting to meet up again, but doesn't text you within the week after, do you message him or just leave it up to him? I'm the type of person who needs a concrete answer so I can shut the door and move on. I recently did so and he is responding, inviting me over for a movie, but is being super elusive about setting a concrete time. Is it worth it to keep the back and forth going in this type of scenario? Follow up, the risk of hooking up with someone new is that you don't know if they're looking to do so once or maybe seeing each other again. How do you rid yourself of this uncomfortable reality and not take it personally if the former occurs? If he seems interested and wants to meet up again but doesn't text you within the week after he had like 5-7 days, red flag immediately. Red flag immediately. Like I get it, maybe like 1 day, maybe 2 days, okay? But total red flag. It depends on how the conversation ended. I typically, after a night, if they bought me drinks or something, I'll text them and say, thank you for the great night. If he mentioned wanting to see me again, he should bring up a plan to me. He should text me. That's the way I see it. After I say that, I give him the perfect lob for him to hit the ball out of the park and ask me on date number 2. So she said that she did text him and he responded asking her for a movie, but is being super elusive about setting a concrete time. Oh my gosh, repeat after me. This is how I'm dealing with my current situation as well. We are not just waiting around for a guy to tell us an hour before come over. Like, I am so over that. No, I need notice. I have plans. I'm a busy girl. I have things going on. Even if it's sitting on my couch relaxing after a long week, that is something that is a priority to me. And I'm not going to like get up and go if he could have told me days ago, like, hey, come over Friday night for a movie. Or, I mean, granted, spontaneous plans can happen, but I don't think you earn the right to have spontaneous plans until it's been a few intentional dates where they put forth effort and make a plan. If you want my honest opinion, this guy sounds like a walking red flag and is treating you as an option, not a priority. And I personally, after all these years of putting up with this sort of stuff, I'm so done giving my all to people who won't even give me 10%. Okay, making a plan is not hard. It's not, okay, for some people who might be shy, it could be hard, but if they want you enough, they will do hard things. Like, they will do hard things. I don't know. I'm done making excuses for people. I'm done. So last question is one that I believe I've answered before, but I have some new answers to the question, if that makes sense. So someone said, Dear Katy, I just moved to New York by myself and I realized I don't know how to make adult friends. Any advice? Okay, making adult friends 101 from me, because I've made a lot of adult friends recently, like in the past year. I think post-pandemic people are more willing to they really just want to get out there and be social. So it has been easier. But if you've just moved here, I'm putting myself in this person's shoes, you've just moved here, you maybe have like one friend or a coworker or someone you talk to or a roommate, that definitely puts you in a position where you do feel a bit lonely, and I know how it feels. I felt that way when I first moved here because a bunch of my friends commuted to the city since they lived close, but I didn't live close enough, so I had to move here, and I felt pretty isolated during the week. So the way that I made friends at the time, if you just graduated college, I looked at this girl's Instagram and I saw that she did. So those of us who went to college, I think the best thing that you get from college is the alumni of it all, the people that you have a common link to. I have made, like when I first moved to the city and even now, I've made friends with people that went to college with me that were a year older, a year younger, or like give or take a few years older and younger. Like when you get to a certain point, like age doesn't really matter. Like if you're in your 20s or 30s, like we're all kind of the same right now. I mean, obviously some differences, but we're all mature. Or not all of us, but a lot of us are mature. We're in a similar phase of life if we're living in this city or a similar city. So I recommend going on LinkedIn, I don't know, kind of creeping a little bit on Instagram and reaching out to people you went to college with, like maybe someone you had class with that's also in the city. A lot of people move to New York City. So try to feed into the alumni and maybe text your group chat of your friends from other places that ended up other places and ask them if they have any friends in New York. Like use what you've got and just ask them to get drinks, ask them to get coffee. If you, I don't know, like you're getting invited to something, ask if they want to come with you. Like the worst they're gonna say is no or I'm busy, and then like whatever, screw that person. But I think most people are trying to make friends. And when people from my college or people that I have like a friend of a friend with text me and are like, hey, do you want to get drinks? I get drinks with them. Like I do if I have time. Like granted, I'm busy, but when I have time, I will, because I know how it feels to be in that position. So you will find people who also have empathy for you. You might have to kind of force yourself to do it because it does kind of feel like dating in a way, but I love nothing more than a girl date. Like I've been telling my friends, like it feels when in recruiting and sorority recruiting, we called it girl dates when you went on like one-on-ones with girls that you wanted in your sorority. So I like to call it like a girl date in the modern age. So I love girl dates. I think leaning into the connections that you do have, asking those really, really good friends of yours that you have from other points of your life if they know anyone in the city that they can connect you with. Like you kind of have to do a little bit of digging, you have to get your hands dirty a bit and be willing to strike out, because some people are just busy or not great people and don't want to expand their circle. But honestly, the people that I'm friends with in the city, like we're constantly bringing new people in. We're constantly introducing each other to new people, and I'm constantly saving new phone numbers into my phone because it is really hard, but also pretty easy to make friends if you just kind of break the initial barrier. Like when it rains, it pours, I think. So that's what I'd say. Just kind of use what you've got and don't be afraid of kind of feeling silly at first, because you will feel kind of silly. Like there's been instances, like this is so embarrassing. I didn't really want to share this, but it just popped into my head. So this is in the influencer world. Obviously it's a bit different for those of you who aren't in this world, but you know, the networking of it all. I went to this one event a few years ago with my friend Shay from college, and I saw this girl at the event. She's a very well-known New York Instagrammer now. And she was then, but she's like really exploded in recent years. And I saw her and I like loved her content, thought she was so fun on Instagram and knew she was living in the city. And I was like, I want to go up to her and I want to be friends with her. I don't know what I was thinking. I went up to her, just walked right up to her at this event. And I was like, hi, so-and-so, like you don't know me, but I followed you on Instagram. And I like said something personal about like, I loved something she had in her apartment. And she was being super nice to me at the time. Like I DM'd her afterwards and was like, it was so great meeting you, blah, blah, blah. And like, she didn't respond. So yes, you do strike out. But then I saw her again at this event that I went to. I was invited to this event in the Hamptons last summer. And she introduced herself to me at the event. And I wasn't like offended because, you know, you meet so many people. But she introduced herself to me and I thought to myself in my head, I'm like, do I bring up that we've met before, that I was kind of fangirly to her, or do I just like pretend like we've never met before? And I'm me, I have to be honest, I'm always an honest person. So I said to her, I'm like, so-and-so, like so happy we're on this trip together. I actually introduced myself to you 2 years ago now and like thought you were amazing then, and like look at you now. And I was being positive with a positive spin to it, but kind of just like low-key was like, yeah, we've met before. And after that she did follow me, and I don't know, I just don't think we're compatible as friends. Like I just don't think we are. Like we're in different phases of our lives, I guess. But I wouldn't say it was a total swing and a miss, but I'm always gonna try. Like I'm always gonna get out there and try, even if it doesn't end up panning out, because I can at least go to bed each night knowing that I tried to be a good person and get myself out there, and I've just tried, okay? I wanna be known as the girl who tried. Like even if things don't work out, even if I'm single forever and have no friends, I tried, okay? Anyway, life is all about the energy you put out into the world. Like just try to be the most authentic, best version of yourself, and do yourself justice. Honor yourself, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so that is it for the video, guys. I answered a handful of questions. I promise you I'll be doing more vlogs soon. I think I mentioned this in the last video. I'm doing a summer house for a couple, like 2.5 weeks with some girls who vlog constantly. So I will definitely feel inspired to do that then. Hopefully post like a few vlogs in the month of July. So don't lose faith in me. I will be back. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and I will talk to you guys all very soon. Bye.